Alright, so you clicked on this video because you want to learn how to fly the DJI AVATA. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 tips that help me to fly the DJI AVATA. Now, to be completely transparent with you guys, I'm not going to pretend like I'm the best flyer in the world, but I do have some decent experience, and it was in a very short period of time, or at least a relatively short period of time. So the first thing that I'm going to say to you guys, if you want to get better at flying your DJI AVATA, is you need to practice on a simulator. Now, there are a bunch of simulators out there. DJI offers one, but for me personally, I like flying in Uncharted. That is a simulator that you can purchase on Steam. I absolutely love it. Why I like it? Because it has some really nice, beautiful terrains. It's probably not going to be the most realistic feeling simulator, but I do enjoy the fact that the terrain is lush. Because I'm trying to shoot to get used to shooting for cinematography or videography, I want to get practice in interesting backgrounds, try dynamic shots in tight places. So I like the stages, or I like the locations in Uncharted, because it really lets me emulate as if I was actually out there shooting. There's other simulators out there. There are, I think, ones that are more realistic, but again, I want to get used to shooting vast landscapes, and also I want to have some fun. I think that there's no point in flying if you're not having fun, and I find Uncharted to be extremely fun. There are some racing simulators. There is the DJI one, as I said before, which I don't find to be as fun. So you can find one that is for your preference, but I'm definitely going to advise to put in some hours on a simulator, because that is going to help you to get a lot better when you're flying in real time. Do not neglect the simulator. Don't even take out your drone until you've flown at least, let's say, 20 hours in the simulator. By that time, you'll have some experience. You'll probably get used to being a little bit dizzy, and you'll have a basic idea. The next thing I'm going to say to you is buy extra batteries. If you're going to want to get better at this drone, you're going to need to have a bunch of batteries. I only had one battery at first, and that was one of the biggest reasons why I wasn't getting in enough practice. The drones die very fast. I mean, I think for other FPV drones, they're gonna die even faster. But for me, I'm used to my drone staying up in the air for maybe like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. So when I'm flying the DJI AVATA, it's gonna die in probably like 10 minutes. So with that being said, you wanna have at least 3 batteries. If you can afford more, go ahead. Also, if you're gonna buy the extra batteries, I'm gonna advise you to get the fast charger, because before I got the fast charger, it took forever to charge, and that was also a big turnoff. Imagine having to wait 3-4 hours to charge one battery. It's not gonna encourage you to fly more. So the fact that I have the Fly More Kit combo, so I have 3 batteries now in total, and they charge in basically I'd say in 30 minutes, I can have all 3 batteries fully charged. That is gonna encourage me to fly more. It's gonna be more motivating. I can kill my batteries, fly them over and over and over, and it just makes it more fun. So definitely get at least 3 batteries. This is gonna help you to continue flying and just make your experience more enjoyable. The next thing I'm gonna say to you, which is number 3, is to practice in real life. So this might seem very transparent or very obvious, but most persons might not think that, they don't have to fly as much as they're flying in the simulator. The simulator is just like a baby version. It's like flying with training wheels. In real life, there's a lot more conditions. There are birds, there are light wires, there are a lot more obstacles. Now, scale your practice, clearly. But you need to practice accordingly. You need to be flying in the simulator, practicing tricks, and then trying to practice them in real life. You need to fly very often. The more you fly, the better you're gonna get. So don't hesitate to just start flying. Fly to get shots, fly to improve your flying control. Just fly to have fun, because you're gonna get ingrained into muscle memory that, this is how you fly. Another quick tip that I'm gonna add, this isn't even one of my 5 tips, but I'm just gonna add this one because it's extremely important. Now, if you are used to regular drones, you probably, let's see if I can get this focused. Okay, if you're used to regular drones, you probably fly by putting both hands like this, right? Like this. But that's not how we fly FPV. To get the precise controls on FPV, we actually hold. It's kind of weird because okay, I'm gonna have to probably turn off the focusing, but pretty much, guys, we hold, okay, great. So we hold it with our 2 fingers like this. The reason why we do this is that we can get really precise with our controls. Now, this is gonna feel very weird at first, but trust me, major key. If you just hold it like this, you're gonna be moving it way too intense. And you have to do a lot of micro movements and micro adjustments when you're flying FPV. So you have to hold it like this, and this is gonna take a while to get used to. This isn't even one of my 5 tips, but I have to include this because trust me guys, this is what's gonna make a drastic difference. This allows you to do very minor adjustments, and that is what it takes to fly FPV. It's not always about vroom vroom, it's like very subtle movements, because a quick movement might be what makes you crash. So be very careful of that. All right, so after touching on practicing in real life, the next trick that I want to give you guys is to practice more difficult movements. Now, the reason why I have to implore this separate from just practicing is because when you're flying FPV, it can be a little bit scary. For me, it was extremely scary. And personally, I don't know about you, but I don't want to buy another drone, and I've heard a lot of horror stories about crashing. So because of that fear, sometimes you don't want to attempt the more difficult moves. But here's the thing guys, I'm going to be honest with you, you have to. So what you're going to do is you're going to practice accordingly. So if you want to learn how to flip, what you're going to do is you're going to go on a simulator, you're going to practice flipping, you're going to practice. Once you're comfortable with flipping on the simulator, then you're going to go out there, take up your drone, and you're going to practice flipping in real life, or diving, or whatever it is, the skill that you want to learn. But you're going to do it in small increments. So don't go out there and try the most difficult flip or the most difficult dive. Go somewhere where there's no other things in the air, there's not a bunch of trees or light wires, and practice accordingly. So you want to scale it, and you want to try more difficult things. If you only go for the easy things, you won't become a skilled FPV pilot. You have to scale your practice. So you have to train, and you're going to have to attempt the more difficult maneuvers. You might have to try flying through tight spaces, try flying through windows, but again, don't go for the hardest thing right off the bat. Take your time, scale your way up, and that's how you're going to get better. I was afraid to fly close at first, and now I can actually fly close. And it was so strange when it happened, because I didn't even realize that I was flying close to things until I just started. So it's like you're going to just keep doing it. So one day you're like, hey, I'm not really afraid to fly close anymore. And now I think the next hurdle for me is to try flying through things. I am absolutely afraid of flying through things because I do not want to crash my drone. But I mean, I think a big thing in FPV is realizing a crash is inevitable. You have to just bounce back, and also invest in insurance. Like DJI Refresh is going to be your best friend. In case you crash your drone, we're not going to try to, but because you don't want to crash, you never become better or try new things. So definitely guys, try the hard stuff in increments. Take it slow, climb the ladder, climb the steps, and you'll see how slowly you'll improve. And that's why practice is important, because the more you try, the more you're gonna get better. And my final tip for you guys is to find someone who is better than you. This is gonna be crucial for anybody. When I wanted to get experience the first time in FPV, I linked up with one of my friends. He was flying FPV for a few months before, and he gave me some general guidance and some general tips. FPV is a very difficult thing to get into, and if you're going to want to get better, it's going to be a lot easier and faster for you to find someone that is a little bit more experienced in person. Yeah, you could find someone online, but I feel like the practical experience of just hooking up with someone that probably has a little bit more insight than you is going to help you to level up. Now, it's not a full-on requirement, but it is going to help you to get there faster, being able to ask questions in person, being able to watch how they fly, being able to ask them about stuff that they learn on the way is going to be very crucial. So I don't know where you live, but probably you can find some person in the area that flies FPV too. It's going to be really crucial, or not crucial, it's going to be really helpful for you to just link up with that person, run some questions by them, fly with them sometimes, see what stuff they recommend, what stuff they use, get experience. You might not like the way they do certain things, but from what they do, you can learn from it and improve your skills. So this is 5 practical tips that I use to get better at FPV. If you guys like these tips, let me know in the comments. Also, the YouTube algorithm says that you're gonna like this video right here.